We are back in the kitchen with Chef Laura from Celebrated Cuisine, and I'm not even going to attempt to say what you said. What is this called?
Mezzelune.
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 Half moon.
Half moon, which basically means a pasta with mushroom and cheese that's shaped as a half moon.
It's the shape, yes. We
Okay.
can fill it with whatever we want. So I just made a few ahead of time because I had some time in my hands.
We're still talking about that time joke.
Oh, I didn't even mean to do that.
Oh.
Okay, here we go. So what I'm going to have you do is get started on our sauce. Okay. So what I've done is reduce the porcini soaking liquid by half. Okay. So now I'm going to have you add the cream to that, and I want you to bring the cream back up to a boil. Okay.
Should I stir it up?
No, go ahead and just let you can initially, but then what you need to do is you need to stop whisking. And do you know why that would be?
I have no idea.
Because the more you stir, the less, it's like blowing on it, you're cooling it down. So you don't want it, so once you've mixed it, you just want to let it sit. So as soon as that comes up to a boil, now while we're waiting for that to come to a boil, I'm just going to drain these real quick over here. So these are our beautiful made ones. We're going to roll out a little bit of pasta dough. You with me on that?
I'm with you. I'm with you, watching you.
Okay, so look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? So this pasta dough I made ahead. I actually made it yesterday, and it holds beautifully in your refrigerator overnight. And we'll just drop this down.
How long would you keep it? Could you keep it in your refrigerator until you used it?
You can keep it for a couple days, actually.
Okay.
Okay, make this do what I want it to do.
You talk to it.
There. Listen to me.
Good.
All right. So here we go. So this, actually, what I use in this pasta dough, because I'm making ravioli with it, or mezzalune in this case, is I use cake flour. It's a lower protein flour. It's a little softer, so I get a really nice result in my dough. So this is
It's just easier to mold?
It's easier to mold. It doesn't break. It doesn't dry out very fast, and that's really important, especially when we're stuffing it. So come on over here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this through our roller right here, and I'm just going to do it very quickly on, actually, we'll just do half of this. And on the first one, we always go through 3 times.
Okay.
And I was trained that way. That's why I do it, in case anybody asks. But I'm going to have you man the crank here for me.
Okay.
And then just go ahead and crank away.
This way?
Uh-huh. No, the other way.
Other way?
There you go. The other left.
My kids would have fun with this.
Yes, they would. And actually, this is really fun to do with your kids. Go ahead. We're going to go all the way up to number 6. And you can see this doesn't take very long to do.
Now, let's just say you were going to just buy some of this stuff to
roll out. Well, you could actually use little wonton wrappers if you want to. And you can get those in the produce section. Go ahead one more time. At the grocery store. Perfect. Your rolling technique is fantastic.
Hey, you know.
All right, now this goes here, so that looks good. Now what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to turn off the heat. Just hit perfect.
Off.
And start adding a chunk of butter and swirling that in.
Okay.
Okay. And while we're doing that, and this is going to do its thing, we're going to use a little round cutter right here. And we're going to cut out our little rounds.
Do I wait for this to melt before I add another butter?
You want to wait till that melts almost completely, and then you add the next one. Yeah, and we're going to use the residual heat of the sauce to do that, because if we don't, we run the risk of the butter actually breaking. Okay? So now, here's a couple of our little ravioli rounds. So we'll take a portion scoop. Here's that mixture we just made.
Okay.
We're going to put it right almost in the center. And you can put down your whisk for a second if you want. So I'm going to put you to work here. So what you're going to do is you're going to fold this over gently, and then you're going to pinch it so that it encases the filling completely.
Now, it looks like there's a lot in there. But once
just the right amount.
Okay. Okay. All right, and if it oozes out, it oozes out.
Right, and
if it oozes out, I did it wrong.
No, and you know what? If it does, just kind of push it back where it belongs. Just make sure you pinch this really, really tight.
All right, so for timing purposes, what do we do with this now?
This is, once it's been pinched, it's going to look like this, and we cook it for about 3 minutes in here.
Throw it in there?
You can do that, please. Okay, go ahead. And then while that's finishing, okay, so here's our sauce, as you can see, that comes together. Okay,
I need to add that?
Well, I just moved it around. So here's our sauce. Add a little bit of fresh sage to that, and we just go ahead and spoon some of this right on top. And we can finish it with a little bit of truffle oil, and why wouldn't we, right?
Of course. Is this truffle oil?
Yes, it is.
Yep.
That's the earthy goodness, just a tiny little bit. It comes out kind of fast.
All right.
So I will warn you. Oh, perfect. Nope, perfect. And now you are ready to enjoy mezzalune.
We are going to have this recipe on our website later on this afternoon, and we appreciate you coming in.
Thanks for having me.
We're getting closer to Barbara Walters.
Oh, Barbara.
Thank you. Oh, good.
Okay.
Very good.
Yeah.